the show today, we have the cast and crew of the upcoming film Mara. We have producer Shruti Rallappa, we have actors Shraddha Srinath, we have everyone's favorite Maddie, and we have the producer Dilip here today. Thank you all for joining me.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, and
Thanks,
welcome,
Shilpa.
Shilpa.
Hi, I'm going to start this off with Dilip.
Hi.
This is an adaptation of Charlie. How
That's
have
right.
you changed the film to fit your actors and the characters you had in mind?
So the initial process was not to change it or like fix things, but there is something that appeals to you, and we approached it like the way you would approach when you adapt a book or a real life incident. Like you break it to bare bones. You take things that you really like and things that you think you can bring in your originality instead of trying to replicate what has been done. And especially when we are speaking about a musical drama, a musical romance drama, yeah, like Mara, yeah, if you're trying to recreate the essence, the exact same essence that Charlie had gone for, like then you're already in a path to impress, yeah, another crew and another film. But we didn't go for that. Rather, we had another story to say, and we had a philosophy. It started with philosophy, and my initial meetings with Shruti and Shruti's team and, yeah, Maddie were more about like what's the philosophy that we want to bring out. It's a I think like that was a great start, and that paved way yeah, for a proper adaptation. Then the characters came in, then your events come in, and it need not be exactly the same. It just needs to take your plot forward and stay. You always have your a bunch of parameters like which you have as a check to see like if you're achieving like what you set out for in the very first place.
Can you
Yeah.
tell me more about the philosophy of the film that you were talking about?
Uh, I would leave that to Maddie. Yeah, is
All
good
right.
at that.
Oh, then Maddie, yes, please tell us what is the philosophy of the film?
Hey, so Shilpa, I was telling earlier on today, in today's world, we meet people, and everything is going so fast, everything is hurtling forward so fast that you meet somebody at a party, you think they're attractive, exchange numbers. Then what happens is, you start developing a relationship more on WhatsApp. You know, you say hi, hello, and then kaya pia, and slowly the conversation goes more. If you realize you have something in common, then you start profiling them digitally. You start seeing their Instagram account and Facebook account just to see with each other and whether this is worthy of going to another level of engagement or not. And suddenly, after about 4 months, you've talked on WhatsApp, you've seen what they're interested in and what they want to promote and not want to promote, and you get to physically meet them for the second time. And then you don't know where to start the relationship with them again. Should we start with the fact that we're meeting them for the second time in our real life? Or should we start with the familiarity of WhatsApp or with the profiling of Facebook? And this is just one of the problems that modern day relationship faces. So by the time you're 28, 29, 30, there's such an information overload that your whole idea of who you want to spend the rest of your life with, who is really somebody you see growing older with, and whether you need somebody like that or not, all that becomes a confusion. All that cannot handle the pressure of the multiple profiling that people have about each other. So with
Absolutely.
when
I like what you said, what you choose to promote about yourself. Because that
Yeah,
is in a sense what social media is, how you choose to represent yourself.
exactly. And that is, see, and that can be done without any hassle, because that's the way you like yourself to be seen. But it's anybody's guess if you really are that or not. Sometimes I feel I am not what I'm being projected on social media to a great deal. I think they're being very kind to me. I have my so much flaws that if somebody meets me in person, they'll say, "Yaar, this guy," because I know it's happened with me.
Maddie, so every day there is one list on the most attractive men. The Madhavan's, post yet another selfie and fans go crazy. So I'm sure you're referring to those
Yeah,
articles.
I'm just trying to stay alive so that my endorsers feel कि भैया इसके पास आओ पैसा बनाएगा ये. That's the actual truth. But I'm sorry, but let me just tell you what this story is all about, right?
Sure.
So what happens is here both Mara and Paru, who are in this film, don't actually meet in terms of digitally. So Mara doesn't carry a phone, and you're only introduced to each other by the things that you have actually done in your real life, by people who are talking to you about him. And strangely, the divine coincidences, wherever Paro goes, she's meeting people who are talking about Mara. Kibo, he's a good guy, he's a bad guy, he's an interesting guy, he's a funny guy, he's a romantic guy, whatever. But she realizes that he's touched everybody's life. But the beauty of Paro is that there is a synergy between these two souls, because she's able to complete what Mara has started in terms of the incidences, in terms of the people. And the same thing she does even for Mara. There's something that he's looking for desperately in his life, and nonchalantly and effortlessly she finishes the cycle for him. And what happens when these two people that destiny can see belong to each other, when they meet for the first time, is that going to be a lifelong yaar janam ka rishta hai, or is it going to be hey, you're not what I thought you were, but nice meeting you? Or is it going to be something more than that? Is it going to be romantic? Is it going to be friendship? That's the journey that we have tried to explore through Mara. And the other thing that I wanted to say is, in today's world of being completely morbid about everything, right? You find reasons to be positive, but then you're dragged down to the morbidity again. You open the news, it just looks like the world is going to shit. I mean, it just looks like, why does it seem so dramatic that, yesterday always seems better than today? We keep thinking, maybe if you go back 3 years ago when we thought the world was shit, it's way better than what it is today. And so with Mara, we're exploring the possibility. Do you have to take a step backwards to actually go forward? Do you really have to get rid of all the modern technology? Is the sun, pure water, air good enough for you to live happily in the second stage of your life? So these are extraordinary things that were being explored with Mara, and that's why I was attracted to the film.
Well, the trailer really brings out the kind of warm, serendipitous feel that you're talking about, and the kind of feel-good quality that people are seeking out this season. And Shraddha, what I noticed from the trailer is that this is your story. It follows your journey and how you keep finding instances of Mara. And in fact, I felt like Madhavan just came as a cameo in the trailer, and it really hinged on you. So huge responsibility to carry.
It is. That is an accurate observation. The story is told through Paru's eyes, and what she's searching for, and the audience follow her journey of what she's searching, whether it be something that she's looking for externally or something that she's looking for inside of herself. And of course, Mara is a huge part of her search, but yes, it does get intimidating to see that usually the hero shoulders the film, and the heroine is just there. In this, it's equal. Won't you say that, Maddie? I mean, we're sharing sort of equal responsibility.
No, I think well, you're being kind, but I think Parvati's character, Paro's character, had to work really, really hard to keep the wheels churning constantly. But it is designed like that. It's really designed like that. She has the journey is of Parvati, but unlike the original film, it's also a journey of Mara. But
right.
The major weightlifting and very beautifully done has been done by Parvati's character, which is what we wanted to show in the trailer as well. And I think eventually, when you see the film, you'll realize why it was done like that. There is a very particular specific reason why we've done it like that.
Like I was saying, so the hero usually shoulders the responsibility of the film, and there's all these gimmicks that are being used, and his fans are all happy. But in this, there's we're both playing equally sort of strong parts. And does the audience really want to see me that much? I have to have enough I have to mesmerize the audiences enough for them to want to see me. But the story is written in a way that it's just everything. The audiences are immediately sort of. Paru's point of view is what is their point of view. What she sees is what they see too, and so yeah, I mean, I think the audiences immediately sort of really keenly start involving themselves.
Well, that was very honest, Shraddha, of you to say that, because when it's a star like Maddie, the fans get very upset. The hero is not given the put on a pedestal, and usually the heroine is delegated to a smaller role, and that's what I want to ask Shruti. It's a brave decision as a producer, you know, to let the characters have an equal power, even let the girl's journey take center stage, especially when you're working with a star like Madhavan?
See, the part where I would just like to correct, Maddie comes across as a cameo, which is definitely not. Like Shraddha said, both of them have a very important role to play. If there's no Mara, there's no Paru, and if there's no Paru, there's no Mara in the film. Because both of them, though they set out on different journeys, but how it all culminates into one is what the movie is. So there's the film is definitely weighing equal to both of them.
But
So
at least in the trailer, you have to admit that there's more weightage given to Parvati's journey and story. And we don't see, you know, as much as Madhavan, of Madhavan.
So let me, Shruti, let me answer that,
yes,
okay?
yes.
So in my defense, Shilpa, all my films, there is no film of mine where the heroine's role is not, if not equally, more important than mine. From Alai Paide to Irudi
When I
Sutre.
think about your filmography, that
Yeah,
is very
yeah.
true.
I come from a family of very strong women in my life. From my mother, who was the chief manager of Bank of India in a place like Bihar at that time for 30 years, to my sister, to my wife, they're very, very strong women, okay? So I've always found that even in Iridi Sutra, if you look at it, or Sala Khadus, or even Shraddha and I did the film called, Vikram Veda. So maybe my screen time is more, but Shraddha's character was no pushover. You know, she stood her on her own. She would go against me, and our romantic song became such a big hit. So in my defense, I've always gone for a story that will show the women in a strong light in terms of their character. And this story chooses to follow the woman's point of view because it's her search for a guy called Mara. It's by no means, the film is called Mara, so it cannot be not about him also, right? It's that's what it is.
It's
But
a titular role.
absolutely. So it might be a slightly, let us say, dated perspective to see trailer mein kitna percentage iska hai, uska hai. But we only wanted to show it's a journey. Somebody is looking for somebody, and they're looking for somebody because of a story that they've heard in their when they were a kid. So now that is the intrigue value we wanted to create. But I just think that the effectiveness of the trailer will only be because if I show it both as Mara and Paru's story, then it's not being true to the original story that we were trying to say, which will then end up cheating the audience.
Well, absolutely, Maddie. And I also want to ask you, we've seen you play the Charmer before, right? So what did you infuse new into this character?
See, it's already, it's a character I've never played before, right? And the one thing that I wanted to do, tell Dilip before we started is this guy is 45. I want to make sure that nobody has any doubts about how old he is. He's not a 40, he's not a 50-year-old trying to play a 30-year-old guy because the kind of things he does requires the life experience and maturity of a 40-year-old person, okay? But that doesn't mean that romance and affection and relationships go out of your life when you're 40. Absolutely not. If anything else, it's with far more intensity and challenges that it presents yourself when you're at that age. And Mara is a vagabond, so he is in search of something, which is unlike the original, but he's really in search of something. But in the process of his search, he creates situations that becomes memorable for other people who come in contact with him. And I think that was the beautiful aspect of it. So if you ask me what my challenge was, is that I had a brief time with every character, but it's in that brief time, it had to look like they had a lifetime of a relationship. So that was my challenge as Mara, to make sure that on screen also when we were doing it, it really looked like I impacted their life. And so I had to really, make it as subtle as possible, make it as, as even if I was angry with somebody, it wasn't a cinematic anger. It was very real, like how Maddie would get angry or Maddie would get upset or Maddie would get amused. I tried to keep it like how I did it in Rang De Basanti, because with that limited time, you wanted to make as much maximum impact. So that's what I was trying to do in this film.
15 years of that landmark film, in 2021 of Rang De Basanti. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Maddie gets angry, how true Maddie's emotions are in this film. So coming back to you, what were the kind of personal challenges that you faced while making this film? Initially Sai Pallavi was cast, A.L. Vijay was directing the film. It's been a long journey since then to the film that we have today. Your journey while making this.
I obviously had the rights of Charlie with me, but Maddie was the first one who came on board for this. So Maddie and me, the first thing that we decided was we are not going to do a remake. And we just sat down and discussed what all did we like about that film, what all did we want to retain, and so which was essentially the soul and the essence of the film which we wanted to keep, and in whatever ways we could adapt it and make it better fitting, which would be right for Maddie to play, was the clear thought. So so that's how we approached the film first, and things trying to do it with A.L. Vijay. So we had a certain description to how we wanted to approach this. So whatever fit right and whatever could work and whoever could do the best to the idea we had about Mara was what we were trying to do. So Maddie, you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, it wasn't an easy ride. She's just she's being very sweet about it. But hey, you know what? We're going to bear testimony to the film that we've done right now, right or wrong, love it or hate it. This is the decision we've made, and I think we'll strongly shoulder all the decisions we took while making this film. Having said that, I think it was everybody tried their very best to make sure this comes out in the way that we wanted to. See, let me tell you something very frankly, okay? In today's world, you do a remake only if you want to put a project together quickly and say, hey, you know, that worked over there. This is going to work over there. We have a winning project. Let's do it like that. Okay. I have never been that kind of a person. Okay. I've barely ever done remakes. This would be probably my first or second remake, I think. Having said that, the idea was not to make a project quickly, make some money out of it and get away. I don't think that's what Shruti was looking at. Not what Shraddha was looking at, and not what Dilip was looking at, and not what the Pramod Films was looking at. So then we all questioned ourselves, okay, what is it about this film that we want? So going back to what I said earlier in the script, it's a utopian world. Everybody's happy. There's nobody gray. It's black and white. So what happens if such a world we are able to create and exist today? Endeavor, we were able to gel with it, photographer who did only half the film because he couldn't pursue it anymore, or be it the directors that we worked with or artists that we worked with. Somehow the synergy had to work in such a manner that we all saw the same film. And now that film is ready. So maybe we will, I'm hoping for all our sake that we've taken all the right decision, but we take those decisions with the right intention. That's all that has happened. And it has not been easy. So every time you take a decision like this, it costs money. You paid people, you've taken money and invested in the film. The interest is on standby. So let me tell you how convinced Pramod Films, Shruti and Dilip were, because we did the first schedule and we had to cancel it because things were not going according to what we had planned. It was a big decision to make for a first-time producer, and the fact that so much of money was involved. But not only was it canceling the first schedule, and Dilip, correct me if I'm wrong, it also meant that the film got delayed by a year because I had to go back and finish Rocketry in between, which was scheduled to go on in January. So we had to finish this film by December. By last week of November, the schedule went all wrong. Things did not pan out. So they meant that Shruti and Dilip had to wait for a year for me to finish Rocketry, get over all the looks, and then start this film after a year. And they said yes. So I'm saying if you have that kind of conviction involved in the film, then I'm sure we'll hit. We'll touch people's heart somewhere or the other for sure.
Well, Maddie, great to see your conviction and passion about this film, and it's very infectious. I'm looking forward to catching the film. Thank you so much for joining me today. Dilip, before I sign off, would you like to add something to this, to the discussion as a director, anything that we've missed out?
I think it's going to be it's a great start for I think the release date that we have got, like that there is an excitement there. Like, it's a right film. You want to position your film, and December films, Christmas film, New Year films are not we of course, we all know what kind of films we want to watch. Yeah, we connect it to certain time and month of a year, and I think this is coming out at the right time. This film in July is different from this film in December or January. Yeah, so that is one part I'm really kicked about. And yeah, things fell in place. Yeah.
Timing is everything, right? And I think it's coming at the right time for sure, right at the start of the Pongal season. And we're all looking forward to it. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. I had a lot of fun, and it was an absolute pleasure.
Shilpa,
Thank
thank
you.
you
Thank
so
you,
much for
Shilpa.
your enthusiasm and positivity, Shilpa. You're very,
Thank
very
you.
sweet.
Good New
Thank
Year.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Happy New
you,
Year.
Maddie. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Maddie, for being on my running playlist. Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Bye. Take care.
Bye. Bye, Shilpa.